What's going on, everybody? This is LB the Realist with Surrealistic Studios, Surreal News, where the real is surreal. So, what did Kyle Kulinski and others miss from this whole kerfuffle, or this whole incident, I guess, with the, or I guess, hashtag Jimmy Dore drama, or, I don't want to hashtag Jimmy Dore drama, but, you know what I'm saying? Like, hashtag, you know, uh, the smearing of an award-winning journalist, hashtag the attempted blackmail of a respected political commentator and comedian. You know what I'm saying? Like, what did Kyle Kulinski from Secular Talk miss, and other political commentators, other commentators as well? So the main point of what he missed, and he just did a segment, not just like today, but recently he did a segment talking about the whole issue, and he aired it out. But one important aspect that he missed is that, in a certain fashion, in a way, Kyle Kulinski has been compromised. Kyle Kulinski has been compromised. And if you don't see an issue, let me help elaborate. Let me help to enlighten you. So Kyle Kulinski didn't want to get into this whole he didn't want to get into this mess we have, because it was messy, and because he knew Jank, Anna, Jimmy, and Aaron. He knows all of them, so he didn't want to get in the middle of it. Now, on its face value, that's respectable. On its face value, that makes sense. You don't want to get in the middle of a friend's beef because it gets personal, it gets messy, the mud starts slinging. Absolutely. On the other side of this is the fact of who Kyle Kulinski is. This is a respected political commentator with almost 1 million subscribers on YouTube. He has a show, or multiple shows, not only Secular Talk, but Crystal Kyle and Friends. He's been on multiple shows. He's been on mainstream media. And he's one of our most outspoken and one of the largest people out here that we have on the progressive left. So when you have such a large audience and you are who you are in the political sphere, don't you guys think that it's pertinent to call out hypocrisy when you see it, even if the hypocrisy is coming from your quote-unquote friends? Now, we all know TYT, is the largest, lefty news show that we have, right? But oftentimes they drop the ball. They drop the ball with Force the Vote. They drop the ball with all the Russiagating. They drop the ball with, telling everybody to vote for Hillary Clinton, and Joe Biden, and to basically just cave into the establishment because we got to get rid of Trump. Because de facto, Trump. We all know the fall from grace that TYT had. And recently, Cenk Uygur and Anna Kasparian go out and they smear Aaron Maté. And they try to label him as a Russian asset. Even though Kyle Kulinski does not agree with that, he said so in his segment. He neglected to call it out, and even said that in his video, that he said that when he saw that TYT has smeared Aaron Maté in the way that they did, he laughed out loud. He laughed and didn't report it. He laughed and didn't even acknowledge what was going on. Why? Because number one, he knows them, and he didn't want to get in the middle. He doesn't want to report on his friends. And number two, or number three, or whatever number, he thought it was obvious. He thought it was obvious that he was in support of Aaron Maté, and that whatever TYT was doing or saying was inaccurate and disgusting. But he didn't say it. He never publicly or explicitly made that known to his audience. He kept it to himself and to his personal circle, because he said, in his own words, he's an introvert. He's an introvert. So he doesn't like drama. He doesn't like confrontation. He likes sitting behind his desk and talking mess, but he doesn't like to actually confront the issues. So that's an issue in itself, folks. I find it troublesome that Kyle, I find it troublesome of Kyle's unwillingness to call out a lot of TYT's nonsense. Now, to be fair, recently he did, but it took him being dragged in. It took him, to getting his leg or his arm pulled, or being pressured into making a segment, and he was forced to come out and say some words. And now he feels as though he just wants to wipe his hands clean with everyone in the whole ordeal. And that is a sign of weakness, folks. That's a sign of weakness. The fact that he's willing to cut ties with everyone because of the smears of Aaron Maté by TYT and the attempted blackmail of Jimmy Dore by TYT. In his video, he makes it seem as though what Jimmy said was so cringeworthy. It was so abhorrent. It was so horrible what Jimmy said that he wanted to beat him up, or he felt as though if somebody had talked to his sister or mother that way, he would want to fight them. Fisticuffs. And, that really hurt Jimmy because he felt as though that was totally uncalled for and unnecessary. It was a slight comment between friends, is what people keep missing about this whole situation, is that they were friends. Friends talk to each other in all kind of ways, let's be honest. Now, what makes it okay is the fact that you are friends. Now, if you didn't know the person and then you weren't close like that, you wouldn't feel comfortable talking to them like that, or them talking to you like that. But they were friends at the time. And yes, even between friends, there can be sexual harassment, but it's known, or they let it be known that they don't like that behavior. When you're friends with somebody, you can let it be known. You're not going to keep that to yourself. Otherwise, they'll notice eventually. They'll see it in your face, how uncomfortable you are. And they'll wonder if they're your true friend. They'll wonder why, and they'll ask you about it. But most likely, you'll say something because you're close enough with them that you can have that conversation. And if something's bothering you, then you'll let it be known and it'll be dealt with. But when you're friends and you make comments back and forth to each other, and especially the atmosphere that TYT fostered, I mean, I'm sure Jimmy didn't think anything of it. And for Anna to use this and weaponize it to try to come at Jimmy Dore because he's defending Aaron Maté, because he's calling them out on their Russiagating and their smear campaign, you think that's fine? You think that's okay, Kyle? Like, that was the only part that he had a problem with. The only part that he had a problem with was Jimmy's comments towards Anna. Nice new skirt. 3 of the most abhorrent and horrible and disparaging against women words that I've ever heard in my life. I'm joking. They're not. It's really not. You guys need to get out in the world and find out what's really being talked about. Because if that's what makes you want to fight people, I think you guys need to reevaluate your priorities. Yes, women deserve to be respected, but if that made you want to fight people, but other stories that you've reported on don't make you want to fight people, they just make you laugh and they make you chuckle and you just keep it to yourself, or you don't care, that's supposed to be respectable to me? It's not. It's really not. I think it's like these people get so big in YouTube, they get to a point where, everything they say is criticized and they just don't want to talk about certain things. Or if they do, they go with mainstream popular opinion because they don't want to be criticized or ostracized from their peers. Me, I'm not worried about that. I'll talk about every single person in the political sphere that I disagree with, that I agree with, that pisses me off, whatever. It doesn't matter if we had a conversation before. It doesn't matter if we've never talked at all on Twitter. I will talk about it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you don't see a problem with Kyle not calling out hypocrisy in a clear and disgusting smear campaign by TYT, I just don't know. Yes, he absolutely should call it out. Yes, that should be a part of his job, but he excludes that part of his job because he knows them. So as long as he knows somebody, hey, he's not going to report on them. hey, he's not gonna say anything against them. He's gonna stay clear. I'm neutral, bro. I'm neutral, bro. I'm neutral, bro. I'm neutral. I'm neutral, bro. Let me pull a Kyle real quick. Am I lying? I mean, I know a lot of people are saying, well, he should have just stayed out of it. Why should Kyle be responsible for defending Jimmy? Why should he have to say anything? That's not policy. And again, I raise you this. Is it the policy of progressive lefty news shows to not call out hypocrisy? Is it policy to not call out the obvious McCarthyite smears against Aaron Maté, an award-winning journalist who was actually on the ground in Syria, who reported the facts that you agree with? Is that not policy? The policy of nonstop war, the policy of imperialism. Like, is that not newsworthy to you guys? And the fact that Anna Kasparian tried to blackmail Jimmy in regards to this whole situation, is that not newsworthy to you? Does that not deserve justice? Because if Jimmy did in fact sexually harass anybody, he deserves to be brought to justice on it. But from my understanding, from everything that I'm hearing and from what I'm viewing, that's not the case. It's obvious what the case is. They have no real argument at TYT. And that's why so many people don't respect him anymore. And Kyle is, unfortunately, I'm not saying he's going down that route, but a lot of people are seeing through his nonsense, and a lot of people already saw through his nonsense. So just a little food for thought, folks. I think that it's absolutely necessary to talk about these things. It's absolutely necessary for other political commentators to come out and not just minimize this issue as he say, she say drama or high school drama. No, this is so much more than that, and you guys totally missed the ball. You missed it. It went right over your head. You're focusing on all the wrong aspects of this. And it's become like this liberal, Me Too mindset. And don't get me wrong, I'm not against the Me Too movement. I'm against false accusations. I'm against weaponizing of situations that are not sexual assault. And if you can't differentiate between the two, you may not be a progressive. You may not be a progressive if you can't differentiate between those two ideas. So let me know your thoughts on this situation. I also wanted to talk about Israel. Israel just did airstrikes on Hamas in Gaza over fire balloons. I'll go ahead and read this article from Reuters.com. Israeli aircraft bombed a Hamas site in the Gaza Strip overnight in response to incendiary balloons launched from the Palestinian, is it enclave or enclave? Israel's military said on Friday. Gaza's Islamist rulers, Hamas, confirmed one of its sites had been struck. Israel's military said it had hit a Hamas weapons manufacturing site. There were no reports of casualties. Since a May 21st ceasefire ended 11 days of Israel-Hamas fighting, Palestinians in Gaza have sporadically launched balloons laden with incendiary material across the border, causing fires that have burned fields in Israel. Palestinians say the balloons aim to pressure Israel to ease restrictions on the coastal enclave that were tightened during the May fighting. Balloon launches had ebbed after Israel eased some restrictions on Gaza last week. But on Thursday, balloons were again launched from Gaza, causing at least 4 brush fires near Israeli cities along the border. In response to the arson balloon fire towards Israeli territory today, IDF Israeli military fighter jets struck a weapons manufacturing site belonging to Hamas, the military said in a statement. Hamas spokesperson Fauzi Barhum called the Israeli strikes a showy reaction and said Palestinians were putting pressure on Israel, forcing it to respect the rights of our people and walk back its unjust positions. Egypt and the United Nations have stepped up mediation efforts over the Israeli strikes and Gaza balloon launches, though the incidents have not led to a broader escalation. At least 250 Palestinians at least 250 Palestinians and 13 in Israel. 13 in Israel were killed in the May fighting, which saw Gaza militants fire rockets towards Israeli cities, and Israel carry out airstrikes across the coastal enclave, or enclave. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. And that is from Reuters.com. So the shenanigans continue. The nonsense continues. Israel launching airstrikes against the people, the Palestinian people. The Palestinian people sending balloons with fire and burning fields. Israel airstrikes immediately. Like, it seems disproportionate, the response, when we're talking about airfield, or we're talking about a brush fire. And I get, fires can be, I get it, they're serious, but it seems a little disproportionate that you send over airstrikes. To me, this whole situation has been messy. Of course, we all know this. It's been messy for years. The Palestinian people continue to be persecuted in an open air prison. They continue to be killed and murdered, and just treated badly and unfairly. Like, they have, like, no rights. They're second-class citizens over there. And nobody sees an issue with this. I'm not going to say nobody, but a lot of people still don't see the issue with this. They still feel as though it's necessary to come out and defend Israel and say that any response from Hamas or Palestinians or any kind of, objection to their illegal, basically their illegal war on the Palestinian people, like any kind of alternate perspective on that is automatically considered anti-Semitic. Anytime you say anything against Israel, it's anti-Semitic. Anytime you say, hey, the Palestinians can defend themselves too, they deserve peace too, it's anti-Semitic. And I don't understand. I don't get it. And America as the government of America, we are in total support of this. The demolishing of homes, the murdering of civilians, the infringement on their rights. This is what we're condoning. Saudi Arabia. I said in one of my previous videos that we support like 70+% of the world's dictators. Absolutely incredible, y'all. Absolutely incredible. I also wanted to talk about one more thing before I let you guys go, and I'm hoping you guys stood with me. If you guys are still here, thank you. Go ahead and hit that like button, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't, so I can keep bringing you stories that matter. Let's see. Ilhan Omar, one of the squad members, is under fire again. And they're calling her anti-Semitic for her views. And she came under fire for some recent comments that she made, to which they basically tried to say that she called America and Israel terrorist. And honestly, she's not that far off. I mean, I just told you we support 70+% of the world's dictators. We're launching airstrikes in Syria, bombing the people that are fighting the terrorists. We're bombing the people that are fighting terrorists. What does that make us? Not me, not you watching, but the government, this country as a whole, the government, the political officials that run this corporation, is what they're doing. But people want to go at Ilhan Omar, and if you have your disagreements, with Ilhan Omar and other things, that's fine. But when it comes to this, they're attacking her and trying to make it seem as though she hates America. And honestly, it looks and feels disgusting. And it seems as though they're only picking on her so much because she's Muslim. And that's not right. I'm not saying that's the reason. I'm saying that's what it seems like. And she's outspoken. She's an outspoken Muslim, so they gotta shut her up. They don't want her talking. Don't you dare talk about America like that. How dare you? But she's not wrong. She's not exactly wrong. I love my country. I love my country. LB the Realist loves his country, but damn. I got a shirt that says it. I love my country, but damn. And it has an American flag with 2 assault rifles crisscrossing with blood splatters and a star. God bless America. But look at the kind of stuff that we do. Supporting the world's dictators, supporting the demolishing of homes and open air prisons, bombing Syria off fake reports of chemical weapons attacks, ignoring stories of whistleblowers coming out and blowing the whistle on this. This is the kind of stuff that this country does. So it's hard not to criticize it. It's hard not to criticize. Well, I shouldn't say it's hard because a lot of people don't criticize what they know or who they know. But I will. But I can. Leave me your thoughts in the comment section below, folks. I don't want to belabor this issue too much. We all know what's going on, but I just wanted to reiterate that it's okay to criticize what you love. It's okay to criticize who you love. In fact, it's absolutely imperative that you do so. Because if you don't, and somebody else does it, they're going to do it disingenuously. At least if you love the person, you're going to do it with the best intentions. And you're going to do it with integrity and honesty. And that's what I hope to bring to you guys with Surrealistic Studios and Surreal News. I am LB the Realist. Thank you for joining me again. Love, peace, and light. You know, rest in peace, Grandma. I lost her earlier this year to COVID. It sucks, and I've still been in pain about it. I mean, obviously. You know, I incorrectly stated in one of my other videos that one of my big brothers that actually passed away. He actually died in 2020 last year. It all seems like one big year to me still. You know, it's like one big dream, honestly. But rest in peace to him, my bro. Rest in peace to my grandma. Shout out to all my supporters out there. Thank you for supporting me. And click the links down below if you want to support the show. Oh, I do have a podcast, I guess. I'm trying to start it. I was trying to do audio and then record it and like upload it to YouTube. But for whatever reason, I'm having so much difficulty doing it because it's audio and it's not a video. So I have to convert it and then put a picture behind it and make it a video to upload it to YouTube. So I'm trying to figure all that out. I'm still trying, y'all. But if you guys are interested, I do have a podcast. I have one episode where I talk about the whole Kyle Kulinski, Aaron Maté, TYT, Jimmy Dore thing at length. It's like 50 minutes long or 50 plus minutes long. So you guys can listen to the audio version of that. It is available on Spotify. So try to look me up on Spotify under podcast, under Surreal News. SURREAL space news. NEWS. If that doesn't work, try LB the Realist. LBTHAREALIST. If that doesn't work, just go to Anchor, the Anchor app or anchor.fm, and you can look me up there. I'm on Anchor, and you can find the first episode of my podcast there. I don't know if I want to just, keep that separate, and maybe I could make that more exclusive material. I don't know, or just make that separate material that you can listen to if you can't really watch at the time. I don't know what I want to do yet, though. Leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Until next time, folks. I think that's it. Links in the description. I'm out.